welcome to another episode of the Board Game Blitz from theplayersaid.com. Today, we're talking about Dawn of the Zeds. My name is Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And this game was designed by Herman Lettman, and it's put out by Victory Point Games. This is part of their kind of premier line. This is the 3rd edition printing that we played, and it has just the most deluxe components that they've put out for this game. And I made an unboxing, but we lost the footage, unfortunately. There's just so much in this box, and the quality of the components is off the charts for a Euro-style game. So I'm really happy with everything that came in the box, and it is a lot. You get a lot for your money. So, Grant, what did you think about this game?
Well, actually, it's a co-op. We really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I had fun, right? This game is about fun. It's about feeling stressed. It was really great to feel how few actions we had. It almost felt like every round we had our player action, and then we had maybe 1 or 2 extra actions. So it really required you to think very hard and very long about what do we want to do. I feel like if they were real zombies, we might have been thinking about what to do and they would have killed us. But very fun, I felt that stress and tension, really enjoyed that. Really liked my character. I was Mr. Johnson, who was basically a conspiracy theorist old man with a shotgun that was a good scavenger and came from the hills. So really enjoyed that. Loved the components. The board is fantastic. Really beautiful presentation. And to be honest, the sequence of play is very good, and it helps you move the game along, and I really like that. Once we got through 5 or 6 cards, we had it down. Yeah. And that's a sign of a good, well-designed and well-planned-out game, I think.
And this is part of the States of Siege series. Things like Ottoman Sunset, Zulus on the Ramparts, all of those are part of the series, so they play in a similar way, and they're all very tight with those actions as well. We played the co-op version. There's a solo version you can play. There's also a competitive version that you can play as well. I think a lot of people do this for the co-op. And we played the very most basic introductory learning scenario, and it was, presented you with some choices. There were some times where we were sweating, but it was simple enough. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is we barely scratched the surface of this game. We used a small deck of cards.
About 30 cards in that deck? Maybe?
Yeah, and by the time you got playing to the hardest scenarios, there's hundreds of cards to choose from. There's so much extra to play around with. There's another 20 characters or so, and it just I haven't even finished punching all of the stuff that comes with this game, and that's one of the most exciting things about this game. Is just how much there is, and you can decide at what level of difficulty you play and which bits and pieces you want to use as well. So I think a lot of people can get a lot of different things out of this game as well. Board's double-sided. This is the simple map. There's a whole other side with a whole extra track and more stuff on it as well.
A little harder. And really this game is about trying to keep the zombies out of the town center. So you have 4 different ways for the Zeds to come into your town center, and you're trying to defend all 4 of those areas with only a couple of characters. The cool thing that I did like, that they're kind of like AI pieces, right? The citizen groups who were staged in the different little towns around you. It was cool to try to think how we could save them or use them. We got some events that made them, like one was well-armed citizens that helped them be a little tougher, and the other one I think was civ leaders, so they were better at hand-to-hand. So it was cool to use them and also see them die and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, but you died heroically. Thank you. Gave them medals. Right.
We had a fair few go to the cemetery and died, but we actually saved a good amount, and I think did pretty well scoring-wise in the game. But again, barely even touched what this game can be, and I'm pumped. I'm going to be playing this one quite a lot, I think, on my own. Ramp up the difficulty, learn all the extras, the rules of this game.
Well, and if you can see the board, there's a track for development of weapons. And we don't know what those are. They may be rocket launchers.
So probably they're going to do a lot of cool stuff.
There's also a hospital area where you could heal your characters. We could not heal our characters, so when they got wounded, they were wounded. Although all 5 of our actual persons got wounds, or most of them got wounds, but nobody died.
Yeah,
or even were reduced, which was good. There's also like a refugee camp. There's a jail, so you can go out and as bad guys are attacking you, you can lock them up.
Yeah,
not just fighting
you've
the
got
Zeds.
anti-hero characters that are trying to kind of get them out. So there's every trope that you can think of from a zombie film or a zombie TV show. They've included that in this game, and you just have to get to that kind of level of having everything together, which at that point I can imagine there's so much to take care of.
Right.
The game's only going to get more difficult, more challenging, fewer actions, more stuff to do, where you really, really would have a tough time of, doing well, like we did in this kind of...
I felt like
scenario.
we did really well because it's fairly simple. We really only had pressure, I think, from 2 of the tracks, right here and right here. The rest we kind of handled them pretty well, which is good. I liked having to worry about the ammo. That was kind of something we really worried about that. And my guy was good in a scavenging roll. He rolled 2 dice, whereas normal people only rolled 1.
Yeah.
And when he
not fruitful with just 1 dice.
So that was kind of fun. I liked that. We also had the mayor who was doing some different things. Another thing I really like are these player aids. Really well done, sturdy cardstock, but they have a lot of information on them, and you can see there's 2 different combat results tables. There's a hand-to-hand one, and there's a shooting or attacking one. And I thought it was very clear. I thought it was well explained. Lots of notes. Really kind of cool too. We were kind of intimidated, I think, at first, and we played a lot of heavy war games, but we figured it out fairly quickly because of these player aids. So well done there in the player aids, I think.
And something I thought was excellent about the production of this game is that everything is color coded based on the level that you're playing at. So if you're playing the easiest, you do only the stuff that has blue markings on them. And you go to the next level, you do only the stuff with blue and green markings on them. And I thought that was a very intuitive way to organize the manifold components in this game and be able to make it easy. Even the sequence of play is color-coded. You don't do this red stuff until if you're on like the 4th level of difficulty.
Right. Which adds some replayability, also adds some variability to the game, and I really like that. In fact, I would love to play the next scenario as we've now moved up, just to see very quickly what the difference is.
You'll get out of it.
And I know you're going to do some of this solo gaming, so we'll see how that goes. Would love to play this with the group.
Yes.
We played 2-player. I think playing it 4-player with the group would be very fun. But overall, I like this game quite a bit. I can see why people like it, and I can also see why it's in its 3rd edition now.
This game tells a great story as well.
It does. Good narrative.
Good narrative of what you're doing. And that's all the States of Siege games do that, but I think this one, it's a zombie game, so if you like that theme, you kind of get into it a bit more, and this was a fun way of doing all of that.
So just so you know, if you don't know anything about this game, the zombies also can be more than just generic Zeds, right, or zombies. They can also have abilities later on in the future as you go up.
Yeah.
We were looking through them. Here's one that says tough. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that on top of the zombie, and that gives him an additional ability. There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of super zombies. There's plague spreading zombies. There's everything.
So once again, that's an element of depth that I think is added to the game. We also only use the ammo track, but there's also a supplies track where you're looking for food and other things. We didn't have to worry about feeding our people, but in other games, I'm sure that's going to be required. There also was an infection rate track, which we didn't use for our introduction. So there's really some good depth here, and I could see us playing this 8 or 10, maybe 12 times and really not even reaching the full final measure of what's there.
All in all, for me, it was really fun game. I was intimidated at first because there's like 7 rule books.
And one of them's pretty thick too.
But they're very thorough. But you only really need like the first one to learn it.
Right.
And so once we did that, got to the table. Beautiful game, very easy to play once you start playing it, which is really good.
So if you like zombie games, I think this is a good game. We've played several. We were kind of talking about that earlier. We've played The Refuge. What was the other ones that you said you... Dead of Winter we've played.
Dead of Winter, Zombies.
Right.
Probably a couple of others.
Zombie Munchkin, which isn't really a zombie game. But
this one is one of my favorites. I would put this game in the same caliber as Dead of Winter. It has that same, you can be as serious with this game or as light as you want with it. but it tells a great story, great components. I have a really good time playing it. You know, you can be a bit more serious. With a game like Zombies, it's not. It's just trash, right?
It is what it is, right?
Roll, move, shoot, shoot, shoot. There's a bit more thinky to this game.
Yeah, there's thinkiness, and like I said, I really felt the tension. I felt like we were in it, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
To me, that's a well-designed game.
Yeah, you don't just die and start again.
Right.
This isn't a video game.
I didn't want to die.
No.
I didn't want my guy to die. So.
But yes, Dawn of the Zeds. Highly, highly recommend this. If you like zombie games, absolutely check this out. This is the board game Blitz from the Player's Aid.
Thank you.